Okay, so I'm actually going to record this game this time, since I totally just cast it and didn't record it, which is awesome. I am bad at this. So, this is my first team game ever casting, and it's kind of hectic watching 4 people at once instead of just 2. I don't know if you noticed, but I tend to just focus on 1 in my cast because it's just easier to do. But yeah, this is a 2v2 game. We have Nicademus, the red Protoss, Mr. Egyptian, the blue Terran on a team, and iamapandatoo, the teal or light blue Terran, and Ronix, the purple Terran. This is a very interesting game. Let me tell you. Like I said, I just cast it but forgot to record it, so here's hoping I'm using the correct keyboard this time. So Victor wanting to do some Reaper action, just because he hasn't done it in so long. He really loves the Reapers. Reapers are his favorite units. He's really upset that they're so much harder to use now because of the speed upgrade being in the factory. Yeah, that's Ronix's thing. So he's gonna try and do some reaping, just because he thinks it's a lot of fun, and we'll see what Panda does. Gets gas later, has the barracks earlier. That's okay. It was real early gas. I'm not 100% sure. You need the gas early for Reapers, but I don't think you need it quite as early anymore because, like the early Reaper builds, you would get the Reaper speed as well. Bad barracks placement, so it just cancels it and moves it. It's okay. Gateway for Nicademus. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering Nicademus. Mr. Egyptian. Yeah, all caps. I'm being whispered by a porn star right now. I wonder if that's gonna be recorded. Oh, I bet it is. That's I Do XXX work. He's in another cast. The cast I did, I guess it was a couple days ago, but I just uploaded it yesterday. Yeah. Mr. Egyptian just likes the supply depots. He likes his wall off. Training his first Marine. Yeah. Another cybernetics core going down for Nicademus. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe he goes 2 gateway robo for his initial build. Debating the merits of Reapers back in the main of our heroes. These are our heroes. I don't know if you know that, but we're pulling for Panda and Ronix. Panda actually has his orbital command up, but is supply blocked. Ronix has an idle worker. Idle workers make me mad. He's not going to get his orbital command quite as early. He wants to save his money for the Reapers, I guess. That's an economic disadvantage right there, is what that is. He is actually going to get the factory to get Reaper speed as soon as that finishes, which is kind of cool. So his Reapers, I mean, this isn't like the standard like bunker Reaper rush from back in the day, but so this is a little bit later because he is getting the factory, and he is going with speed. Very cool. I always love watching his Reaper micro. It's usually pretty intense, fun to watch. We have double factory from Mr. Egyptian with Tech Lab going down, so he's going to get tanks. There's the second gateway and the robotics facility for Nicademus. We're going to see Colossi from this guy. Just a heads up. He's going to get the observer first, but there is the Colossus Den right there. What did I tell you? I haven't seen this game before. I didn't see it just 5 minutes ago. Mr. Egyptian not going for an orbital command yet, which is, I guess that's his choice. That's interesting. He just likes making SCVs. Here we have, don't know, I guess he had excess minerals, so he decided to spend that on a Hellion. He could have spent it on, a supply depot, since he is supply blocked. God. But yeah, he's gonna move out with 4 Reapers, 5 Reapers here, which is always fun. He's gonna go out to the west and then to the north, which might avoid this here observer These Reapers keep getting stuck. You know, for guys with jetpacks that jump up cliffs, they're actually really bad at jumping up and down cliffs. He's gonna try and go up here. Unfortunately, this does not connect to the main. It connects to empty space, so he's going to have to jump down here, which is kind of a waste of time. He could have gotten there a little bit earlier had he not done that. Just gonna snipe off some SCVs like a boss. That's what Reapers are best at. SCVs and Zerglings. Run, 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 run. Tanks, though, do actually counter. He's not getting a Colossus out first. He's waiting until he gets range on the Colossus, which is good because that just makes Colossus really sickeningly good. Their range is amazing. And Reapers are really good at killing probes and buildings. Unfortunately, they are really bad against tanks. As you can see, of the 5 Reapers, only 1 survives. Ronix going to build some tech labs on his factories. No one has expanded yet. This observer, you know, the Panda saw it, didn't really do anything about it. I guess he did build this turret over here, but, you know, turrets build slow, so the observer can be like, oh, that's a turret, I need to not be there when it gets done. Easy enough to fix. But, I mean, I guess it had the intended purpose of making the observer leave, because it's not in their base anymore. That's cool, I guess. He knows they have 2 factories, and that Mr. Egyptian is just pumping tanks. He's got the siege mode. He's got 2 factories. He's just gonna make tanks. Just gonna make tanks. It would be cool if he could get an armory so he could get his tanks upgraded. That would be nice. Yeah, range is finished on the Colossus. First Colossus is coming out. Otherwise, Gateway Army. Very standard. Observer. They are moving out. They are moving out. Panda lagging behind Ronix because he doesn't watch his mini-map. And there are some tanks. They can catch them unsieged. They have a chance. Ronix is going to take that chance. Unfortunately, Panda's forces aren't with him. And then there's Stim by Panda. Yes. Oh, but he pulls back. He had a chance to snipe off all the tanks, but he pulls back for no particular reason. He's just like, oh, and now... Nicademus' army has joined up. He's going to siege this tank, and he's going to lose his army. He had a chance to snipe off 5 tanks as they weren't in siege mode, and he completely lost it by this slight miss-micro there. Pulling back. I don't know if he did that intentionally. I'm going to guess. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he just accidentally clicked somewhere he shouldn't have and pulled his forces back, completely losing the chance to get an awesome advantage there. What I would like to see from Nicademus here is to put this Colossus right here. Keep it out of sight, you know? So it's up here, it can still, like, control the center and demolish, you know, biological infantry stuff, you know? But it's out of their sight range unless they have air or, I guess, psionic units see up. But these guys are tearing. Who cares? They don't really have psionic units, I don't think. Unless ghosts or psionic, I don't know. Psionic armor type, that is. What is this? Oh, Starport. I guess I should look at production tab just to see what's going on. Okay, Zealot Legs is going down for Nicademus. I didn't even know that last time. Blue is continuing to build tanks, but he is expanding to this gold, which is going to be very well defended by this force of tanks and this one Colossus. And there's one tank hiding out, not sieged. You know, yeah, I think you should put Colossus up on these 2 high ground pieces. That would be awesome to me. Ronix is actually going to go drop double Starport. As Panda drops Tech Labs on double Factory. He's going to go for tanks. And he's getting the Tech Lab on this Starport, so it looks like he's going to go for Banshees. We have more Colossus in production for Nicademus. Now the interesting thing here is that Egyptian is spending all his money on tanks, which in fact do not shoot up. Yeah, did I say Mr. Egyptian? Yeah, Mr. Egyptian is spending all his money on tanks, awesome ground defense. Gonna keep this center area locked down. Nicademus is spending most of his money on Colossi and, Zealot Legs, which none of those things shoot up either. But they're incredibly effective at locking down ground. He only has 5 stalkers. 5 stalkers total, which, yeah, they'll shoot up. That's cool. Planetary Fortress going down at the gold for Mr. Egyptian, as well as some missile turrets are going around. I don't know if he scanned to see that, but Panda, being like me, just being a complete pessimist all the time. And, honestly, if I saw this, the fact that they had this middle locked down so heavily, I would think it was done too. But, we'll see what happens. It's very important to note the lack of things that shoot up, and the starport production going on in Ronix's base, as well as Panda's base. But he's just going to build 2 Vikings. I really want him to build reactors. Since this starport's not doing anything, he could build a reactor. And then Panda noticing the very important part about their army. Even though Nicademus is on 2 bases, Mr. Egyptian is on 2 bases, one of which is a gold, and Ronix is only on 2 bases, Panda on 1 base, almost 0 bases, because he's about to be mined out. This is a problem. Being almost mined out and not having an expansion up is a huge problem. Building missile turrets. Missile turrets do shoot up, actually. But he's just going to completely try and lock down this center here, which is very good because, you know what, the only paths available to, like up here or over here or over here are through the center. You have to go up here and you have to walk through one of these pathways that the team blue and red have completely locked down, just entirely locked down, with tanks and things that shoot very far. The turrets are kind of blocking off the air paths. You'll notice though that he only has really 1 turret in each location, which against this force that Ronix is building up, 1 turret is not that scary, to be honest. Panda now looks like he's going to go for the Banshees. Not researching Cloak though. And he is actually finally building a command center to expand when he has 4 mineral patches of about, all less than 1,000 minerals each. Whatever. Not the best macro management there, since Nicademus is already getting a 3rd over here. Mr. Egyptian not really saturating his gold. I didn't really realize that the last time I watched this game. But even though he has the gold, he's not doing a whole lot with it. I guess it doesn't really matter since he has, a bunch of minerals and a bunch of gas. He's not really spending his money that well. Panda going down for the cloak. Ronix spending some excess money, I guess, on some Marines down there. But continuing to build mostly Viking Banshee. And, look at all those Vikings. Wow, that's going to be very effective against the Colossi. Nicademus is actually now warping in things that shoot up. I don't know if they've seen what's going on. Oh, wrong keyboard. Yeah, they don't even know that they have starports. So this is a flaw in their build. They have pretty much they have vision over like the whole map, except inside their opponent's bases, which with that observer they could actually effectively do that, since they have what, 2 missile turrets in here. That's not gonna defend. There's plenty of places the observer can sneak in. Wow, that's just so many tanks. Let's look at the army sizes of these guys. Nicademus. Wow, Ronix is actually way, well, not way ahead. He's only 3 food ahead of Nicademus, but he's way ahead of Mr. Egyptian and Panda, who are pretty even. In fact, they are both supply blocked at 110 food. That explains a lot, actually. Panda finally taking this, making Planetary Fortress, and making SCVs. Ronix taking a 3rd, maynarding some SCVs, turning into an orbital command. Pretty awesome stuff. Except that now Mr. Egyptian is taking a 3rd, Nicodemus already has a third up. Wow, and the center area is still completely under control of... What is that? Oh, he's taking out these two tanks. Looks like I hear a Banshee, but I don't see a Banshee. It's because teal blends in with the mineral patches. Ooh, Dark Templar. That's dangerous. Alright, gonna move most of these forces down here that shoot up. Gonna build more missile turrets. Yeah. These tanks up here, I think, yeah, he knows that this expansion is down, so he's gonna come and take that out. Army size, wow, Panda is actually starting to beat out Egyptian. And Ronix is actually starting to beat out Nicodemus. This is actually really cool. It's impressive that they could basically do that on only 2 bases. I don't know what happened there. Oh, Dark Templar. Dark Templar happened there. Yeah, wow. This is actually really well played by Panda, and particularly Ronix doing this on just, well, I guess he's on 3 bases now, but wow, with the map control that I mean look at the area, or look at the area of the map controlled by, these are the wrong people. Look at the area of the map controlled by Panda and Ronix. They just really have this outer corner here, this bottom edge and the corner. Where now look at the area controlled by Mr. Egyptian and Nicodemus. They have basically, I mean, they control the most important part of the map, which is the center. Now, that's less interesting because of the fact that Ronix's almost entire force is in the air, so he could use this attack path or this attack path, except that Mr. Egyptian is building all these turrets on the side to block those attack paths. And now at least they've seen the force they're facing up in the center. I mean, I guess that's why he keeps suiciding Banshees up there. And I was actually surprised that these SCVs were able to pull through and then get blasted by these unsieged tanks. Mr. Egyptian just pushing forward with missile turrets. Missile turrets are very good defense against planetary fortresses. And he's just gonna just blast at his own missile turret for, oh no, he's blasting at the assimilator. My bad. Panda could repair this and make it slightly more frustrating for these tanks, but he's just like, let's push out while those tanks are up there, not realizing that there's still like a million tanks over here. He just wants to point out his death and the fact that he's sending his SCVs to their deaths. It's cool. And Ronix and Panda going to push out. Yes, go, push, push, Panda, push, push, go up, not left. Pushing, pushing, massive air forces versus massive ground forces. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? This is gonna be cool. Oh, sniping off Colossi. 1 Colossi down. 2 Colossi down. 3 Colossi down. 3 Colossi down. That's the final number. But those Banshees are just tearing apart those turrets, tearing apart everything, to be perfectly honest. Tearing apart the tanks. I mean, they have only missile turrets and a couple stalkers to shoot up, and that's really it. And those Banshees are just demolishing it. Like, God, those Banshees are taking out everything. Stalkers, turrets, tanks. Just blasting. Let's look at units lost here. Well, at this point, Nicodemus has lost the most resources, followed by Panda. Egyptian actually hasn't lost that much as far as resources. Ronix has actually lost more resources than Egyptian. And then he's like, you know what? That's well defended by turrets, but we've removed their grasp over the center, which Panda's gonna just go up here and suicide some tanks. Yep, just gonna suicide those tanks. But Ronix is just gonna come out here and take up production and try to snipe off a few more Colossi. And some Banshees that Egyptian himself produced. Army size, let's look. Man, Nicademus is just losing his army completely. Ronix's army just demolishing. And iamapandatoo at an embarrassing 28 food. Probably because he has no production, no income. 0 income. He could, you know, lift this off and go here. Or here. But, you know what? He's fine with having no income and only 30 food. It's good. It's good. It's the best way to do things. Mr. Egyptian deciding, well, you know what? The best way to deal with being attacked is just to counterattack. So he's going to drop Panda down to 25 food. And just going to come down here and take out Ronix's third, while Ronix is demolishing the main of Nicademus and Mr. Egyptian. Just destruction. God, Cloaked Banshees are so good. Gonna lower his Vikings again and do some more destruction. He's got this one hero Viking over here that's just gonna take out Mr. Egyptian stuff. Mr. Egyptian saying, oh, it ain't no thing. I'm just gonna kinda mess up your third. Panda has one Banshee, just kinda being an annoying little gnat on the back of Mr. Egyptian. He could kill this one if he micro. Yeah, there you go. Kill that one. It has no health. Yeah, so that leaves Ronix with an almost mined out natural, which is kind of a problem since Nicademus, well, that's mined out. He has his natural and a third still up, and Egyptian has that up as well as a gold still up. They have very little production facilities, though. That is the problem. And in production, you know, they're just trying to rebuild, but they have more money than God at this point. Ronix doing a good job of just taking out the main. Gonna do the standard day 9 lose your whole fucking base transition. That's what Nicademus and Mr. Egyptian were going for. It's a very standard transition, very strong. Leads to very awesome late game play. And Mr. Egyptian gonna go ahead and take another expansion. These guys have a lot of money, and you know what they're gonna do with this money? They realize that Ronix only has a completely air army at 134 food, which is way more than anyone else. Wow. I think he has, yeah, he actually has more food than everyone else combined. Yes, very nice. But Mr. Egyptian taking the time to just build lots of missile turrets with his, you know, 3K mineral trust fund here. He's like, no frickin' Banshees are gonna attack my shit. That's what he says. Look at all the turrets he's built. Like, God, it's a lot of turrets. Nicademus gonna go ahead and lose his natural. Stuck on this third here, which he's just now getting up some production out of. He could be making warping in stalkers out of this warp gate, but he chooses not to, because really one stalker is not going to do that much against that many Banshees slash Vikings. Vikings on the ground, going to do some serious damage. Not going to warp in any more units, just going to lose the ones I've got. Target firing the pylons, since there are only 2, and it's easier to kill 2 pylons than 5 gateways and a cybernetics core. Yes, it is. Wow, Ronix's food count off of really just one base is 154. This is pretty intense. Wow, yeah. You know, this was definitely very well played by Ronix and I guess Panda as well. Going air units, seeing that they had that Mr. Egyptian and Nicademus just had this completely locked down, but most of their army was stuffed to deal with ground forces. And that's pretty significant, because in all honesty, this should have been Egyptian and Nicademus's game to lose. It really should have been. And Nicademus with an almost 4K mineral trust fund, he could donate some of that to Mr. Egyptian, who actually does have some production facilities, namely starports with reactors, to build lots of Vikings. And yeah, he could do that. But, you know, he's going to hold on to it. You know, winning is not important to him, as you can see, because it should have been their game to lose. And they definitely lost it for themselves by not building anything that shoots up. By not scouting. You know, they could have done a better job against this had they just seen what was coming. Ronix continuing to just build up a massive force in his base. I like the food counts here. 15 over nothing because he has no pylons for Nicademus. And 68 over 68 now for Mr. Egyptian. Panda at 31 of 158 because he is currently on no base. Finally gets this down to secure this third. I don't know, I guess Ronix gave him minerals to build this, which was a dumb choice because he could have just lifted this off like 20 minutes ago and just landed it here. But, you know, whatever, it's cool. You know, you definitely need your orbital command that produces SCVs where there are no resources. That is always a good choice. Ronix doing some pretty good play here, dropping his Vikings to the ground and just going to target fire these turrets. Going to take a little bit of damage from that planetary fortress, but he's just going to let his Banshees get in and take out the planetary fortress out of range of the missile turrets. So cool. And then he's going to let these Vikings take out, you know, these Vikings up here. Oh, that's so cool. And what, does he have upgrades for him? Let's check. No, he does not actually have upgrades for his units. Oh yeah, SCVs being Maynarded in, taken out by Banshees. Because, you know what, this died. This is still up, though, with lots of turrets. But you can see how well those turrets work. And Mr. Egyptian also taking this, although he has nothing mining out of it. Oh, he's about to, though. And he's going to build more turrets. And going to lose all but 2 of his production facilities. He's going to use his add-on. Oh, yeah, taking out some free Vikings. You can do that. Yeah, Vikings are free. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on here. I'm a panda trying to rebuild barracks, even though... Oh, I guess he is actually producing out of these. He just wants more, because he's getting lots of money from this gold expansion. He is now almost caught up to Mr. Egyptian in food. Oh, he has passed Mr. Egyptian in food now, 51 to 48, and he's passed Nicademus a long time ago, who has actually rebuilt his base, but still has quite a trust fund, nearly 2k minerals. Could have given some of that to Mr. Egyptian so he could better survive, but he didn't. He went ahead and lost this game. I think Ronix won this game, period. I mean, this is just very well played. The lack... well, really, Mr. Egyptian and Nicademus lost this game for themselves. They had control, but they had vision, but they just didn't scout the massive air force that was being produced, and they didn't do anything to kind of counter an air army, an air force, if you will. Haha, I'm so funny. I'm such a funny guy. But I mean, this has been over for a while. This is just Ronix cleaning up because, you know, Nicademus and Mr. Egyptian they're not fans of the GG. It's not their style to do that. Burning down supply depots. Here it comes. Here it comes. Die, Tech Lab. We have more. This is kind of cool. He's blocked off with supply depots. Awesome, because you know that Vikings and Banshees can't fly over supply depots and just land wherever they want. They also just can't blast supply depots just because. Panda gonna go ahead and take out all this. I'm not sure if he know. Yeah, he does know about all that, but he's just not going to do anything about it. Yeah, he knows about this because he's had this this gas thing here the whole time. He saw all that, but he's just going to leave it alone. Ooh, sorry that the SCVs are under attack. I forget they get so loud. Ugh. Yeah, here come the Banshees doing their thing. Okay, this was interesting. He actually sent all his SCVs to repair the planetary fortress, but you have to be very careful with that, because once they repair it to full, they will stop repairing it, and you have to make them continuously repair. If they repair it to full and it takes more damage, repair it to full, it takes more damage. There's the GG, well played by Nicademus. Mr. Egyptian just like, screw this, and leaves the game. That's what you get for only building tanks and things that shoot down. That was a very well played game by Ronix and Panda. That was just utter annihilation in the face of what seemed like overwhelming odds. I'm very impressed by this game, and I hope I actually recorded it this time. Oh, that could be bad. But yeah, good job to our heroes, iamapanda and Ronix. Oh, I do have one more thing to add in this cast. I'm supposed to be telling Rayon, who I now refer to as Crayon, to shut the fuck up every cast. So that is what I'm going to do. Rayon, shut the fuck up. And this is Monomate, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.